Well, hello there. Master Hellish here, and welcome to this lunchtime stream. I forgot to move my microphone then, so I was very carefully trying to move it into its correct position. Hello, and welcome. Today, in addition to a standard lunchtime stream that I sometimes do randomly now that I work from home, this is also a bit of a test. Because normally I use one service to stream out of, not client, service, and today I'm using a completely different service. So we should be live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope and Steam as well. I've not checked them yet. I'll probably check them in the future. But as you can hear in the background, perfect timing almost. Kerbal Space Program has loaded. I forgot to start it at the beginning. It's a lot to take into account and consideration when you first launch a stream and you're not ready for it. I knew I was going to do it last minute, but I had no time to prepare. Anyway, yep. Just to reply, we've got a is it Horsed Gaming Club on YouTube says, I would love to see you do one, referring to a rescue mission. Need some ideas for a rescue ship. If you go and look at my playlist on my YouTube channel, you can find the YouTube channel out. If you go to my website, masterhellish.net, you'll find links to all my series on there and my YouTube channels. But there is a playlist on there for this live series, and I have done it at least once in this series. So feel free to go check that out. Okay, well, it looks like we've got a few people watching. Looks like we've got a few people on most platforms. My viewer count is a bit funny. It's not showing exactly the same in the one client as the other, but that's okay. This is all new and exciting. This could be a new direction for me. Oh, also, folks, I've decided to upgrade the web camera. So this webcam is quite good, but I've got a spare DSLR that I might be able to use. So I'm going to do a test, get some lights, and we'll see if we can improve it. Right. Let's launch our game and get into Kerbal Space Program. Try escape it. It's escapist? Not heard of that, I think. I've not heard of that. Well, it's good to see that our scene selections and stuff are working. This is just Streamlabs OBS being slow on picking up Kerbal Space Program. It happens the first time, but we're in, back in the game. So, like I was saying in the chat before the stream, last time we had an incident where we lost 3 Kerbals, sadly. But we're going to move on from that, and we actually did game a new Kerbal. Now, Pattery here needs to be renamed to one of the Viewer Plus subscribers. I'll do that in between streams when I've got chance. We'll take a random person. So if we were doing it now, it'd be Real Fella, and we'll add them. In fact, there you go, Real Fella. You got rescued and you're added to the roster. I'll make a note of that before I forget. Because you wasn't one of the ones that we had previously and got smashed into the surface of the moon. Yeah. So, and Real Fella is a scientist. So Brandon has a scientist buddy. We may need to accrue some more applicants, but my hope is that we can just rescue people. It's much more interesting. Who died? We lost Lexi, P.T. Hudson and Matt Stratt, pilot, scientist and engineer. The beta team, Lexi was our pilot. Lexi flew Brandon over to the desert and they viewed the pyramids together, and we lost him. So if you want to see that, it should be in the previous ones, but yeah, we're going to move on. We're going to move onwards and upwards with our space agency. There's a few nice little contracts that I noticed here. I mean, we've got the active contract to build a new surface outpost on the moon and plant a flag, which we've already planted a flag. I wish we'd have waited until we got the contract to plant a flag. I was getting ahead of myself. And what I did do actually is I put a new pod moon base in orbit of the moon ready to land. So we could do that today if you want to, folks. So this is this here is our moon base, or at least the start of our moon base. There's nobody on board this time. I've learnt my lesson, and I was going to try and land it with just the TR9 second stage, and then like once it's landed, just use RCS to try and lower it down. I mean, it has got landing legs to stand on, so it should be fine. So we can do that today if you want to. So if you want to see me try and land this on the moon, shout out in chat, moon base. But there are some other contracts that I noticed that are quite easy to do. So if we go back to mission control, we have deliberately put satellites in orbit of Kerbin and the moon. I don't think we have one in orbit of Minmus, but we have also science outposts on the surface of these places. And we've got a contract here for science data from space around Kerbin. We can do that. We've got a science satellite. Science data from the surface of Minmus. I'm almost certain we put a science outpost on Minmus, so we can do that one. And let's see, that should be all for now. So let's go have a look. So the first one was science data from space around Kerbin. So we want SciSat-1. This is our science satellite. Real fellas here. Thanks for... Wow, you was lurking. Okay, real fella. Welcome back. Yes, real fella, you are going to be added to the roster when I get the opportunity. So this is our science satellite. It literally just floats around the planet, and we can like log the pressure data and transmit it. Now we get 0 science for that, but it's going to complete the contract, and we get 20 grand. 20 grand for just popping up here and activating our satellite. This is actually quite an old satellite. This is before I had the solar arrays, where I had to actually then place them around the tube. I don't know why I put the cone on it. It's ridiculous. And the amount of fuel that's in this thing is way too heavy. Way too big and heavy. It wants to be smaller, but never mind. So that's that one. Now we've got to do science from the surface of Minmus. I'm trying to work out where I might be streaming to on Steam. I can't find it. Because I've set it up so it should be streaming, and according to my streaming service, Restream, I'm online, but I can't find it. So I have no idea where it is. Maybe it'll just appear in the video section when I'm finished. I have no idea. That's something I'm going to have to look into. But it's just an optional extra nice to have, isn't it? Right then. Oh yes, Minmus. I'm getting distracted. We're just having a lunchtime chill out here. The only thing is I haven't got my drink. I've drank my drink. I will refrain from getting a new one until we're sorted. So we've got Minmus Sci Station 1. Hopefully it's in the sun. You look offline on Steam to you. I see. Okay, that's interesting, Egg. I don't even know where to look for that, so I'll have to investigate. So this is a similar situation. We've got a science outpost that we've just popped onto the surface here. It's got lights for no reason whatsoever. I'm pretty sure we've done like all of the studies on here. Yeah, we have done all the studies. But if we just log pressure data and transmit that back, there we go. There's that other contract complete. 63,000 credits for just nipping over to something we already have sat on the surface here. Absolutely fantastic. Let's have a look. Electrical charge is quite low. But we have a few solar panels on the top here, so that will go up. That will go up over time. Yeah. I'm not really sure how the Steam one works. I've just got like a channel link. I'll have to see. I'll have to see what I can do about that one between streams. Okay, so that I think is all of the easy contracts done. Let's have a look. So let's see what we've got. Plant flag on Minmus. Well, we've got plant flag on Moon and explore Minmus. So we need to do an orbital spacewalk and transfer any crew between vessels near Minmus. Right, okay. That might be something to do after we've finished putting our moon base down. Oh, look, we've got a rescue from the orbit of the moon. Should we do that? Okay, here we I'm just going to quickly check. We've got a rescue from orbit of Kerbin, but that's not as exciting, is it? Okay, folks, you guys get to choose. Shout out in chat. We've got a rescue of orbit of the moon, or we've got a land moon base. So say base or rescue. Let me know in the chat, base or rescue. And that's what we'll do for the rest of the stream today. Base or rescue. I want to know what you guys think. Yeah, this is weird. This is because my main app tells me that we've got 6 on Twitch, 3 on YouTube, 1 on Periscope, nobody on Facebook at the moment. But the chat is telling me we've got 6 people in total. So I think like the number of people in chat and the number of people watching is 2 different things. Leave no one behind. Go rescue. Rescue. Okay, that's 2 shouts of rescue. Let's go do it. Where is it? Rescue from orbit of the moon. Okay, we're going to accept that contract and figure out how. Now, I have recently done a rescue from orbit of the moon. So if we open a relatively, yeah, this is it. This is the ship that I used. This is in Eagle 3 with a standard second stage. And on the top of the second stage, it's got a return module, which comprises of a landing hatch. Now, when I did this last time, the person I rescued was a scientist, so I had 0 control over this as it was coming in for re-entry because they wasn't a pilot. So we're going to do a slight change. Okay, we're going to take the re-entry pod off the top and the re-entry and the ablator, the heat shield, and the separator, and we're going to take the bottom of the rocket off. We're going to put the ablator under the command node, so the service bay with all the bits and bobs in. Then put the separator under that and then the second stage. This means that when we reorbit Kerbin, we've got the probe with us, and the probe can help control our descent into Kerbin. We'll just lose the second stage. There we go. Eagle 3 ready to launch. Eagle 3 with... This is kind of like Eagle 3 plus rescue. I shouldn't really... R-E-S-Q... You know what? I'm actually going to check that. Oh, I spelt it correctly. There we go, folks. 3 XP to me. Okay, we're off to the moon, folks. We're off to the moon. We're going to do this rescue. It's lunchtime rescue special. I'm going to try and do it relatively quickly. We're going to warp to sunrise to make sure that we've got solar panel energy when we get up there. I'm going to switch to flying mode and just check to see if I can get my camera working. I wasn't really prepared for this. Ugh. There we go. Our coaster's in the way, but let's just check. Yep, throttle controls there, so I should be able to turn SAS on with a finger touch here. Yep, and throttle up there. Fantastic. And let's see, we've got SAS on, we've got our throttle up. I think we've got everything we need to actually get going on this rescue mission. I haven't actually checked the orbit which the rescue is in. All we know is they're in orbit of the moon. So we'll have a look once we get this craft up and into an orbit of Kerbin. Okay. Cool. Right then, throttle's maximum, and here we go. 3, 2, 1, launch. Sounds a bit loud to me. Settings, master volume down a little bit, spacecraft down a little bit, UI up a little bit, accept. Still a little bit loud looking at it. Okay, bear with me a second, folks. Spacecraft down a little bit, master down a little bit, accept. Okay, that's still quite loud, but I think it's okay. Let me know in the chat if you think the sound of the rocket's too loud. So we're going to throttle back just a little bit, just to make sure we don't go too fast through the atmosphere. If we go too fast through the atmosphere, we create even more drag, which just is not fuel efficient at all. We still want to be accelerating though, and that seems to be going quite nicely. We're up to 5 kilometers. I'm going to try and start bringing the rocket over slightly. It's not liking it and it's twisted, so sound is fine. Thank you very much. Okay, let's we might have to wait until the solid rocket boosters are gone, so let's here we go, throttling up and solid boosters go. Okay, cool, we've got a clean separation. Yep, the craft is much more flyable now. I'm going to start trying to bring it over little bit by little. Just small adjustments. Let's have a look to see what our periapsis is going to be. Okay, details look cool. Harvey watching on Twitch, welcome. Okay, we're going up too high now, so what we're going to do is we're nearly at 50 kilometers, so I'm going to bring the craft over. For anybody just joining, we are doing a moon-based rescue. We've got a poor Kerbal that's stuck in orbit of the moon. This ship is called the Eagle 3. We've just managed to get it up into space on its solid boosters, and we're about to try and run out of fuel on the side boosters. The Eagle 3 does use asparagus staging, so we'll see these side boosters split, and the first stage will be full of fuel. You bought KSP after watching my last live stream. So you watched a live stream where I smashed 3 Kerbals into the face of the moon, and you then bought the game. Sounds good. Hope you enjoy it. I certainly do. I think some of the DLC for Kerbal is worth it. Okay, there we go. So we've separated those side boosters now. We don't need them. Let's extend our solar panels, because we are high enough in space now that is going to be all cool. And our antenna. It'd be nice to have an action group for that, but I don't have one set up. The next thing we'll do is separate the first stage from the second stage and activate that engine. Now I've got to be careful here because the parachutes are set up wrong. So I did not check the staging of the parachutes. So that's drogue chutes, that's main chutes. Okay, we're good. We're good now. Staging has been fixed, and I'm just pushing us to try and make orbit now. It's going okay. Oh, you bought the complete edition. Good call. I hope you got it in the sale, right? Because it was on sale recently. I didn't actually end up buying anything in the Steam sale. Long, complicated reasons, but basically, I decided not to spend any money at the moment. It was off, 70% off. That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. That is 70% off. I would pay that for this game. Amazing game. Amazing game. Right, we're going to get ready to get our first stage cut off. Main engine cut off, which I believe they call Miko. So we got Miko in a few seconds. There we go. The camera wobble shows that we've made an orbit, and there we are, Miko. Main engine cut off. So the next thing we need to do... Oh, Moon is almost in the right position here. Can we bodge this? We've kind of gone past the point of when I would normally have done the burn. No, we won't bodge it. We'll wait until the next orbit. So we're going to do some time dilation. We're going to warp forward in time, fast forward, until we're the other side. Egg says, I bought BF4. Is that Battlefield 4? I'm not sure if I own Battlefield or not. I think I do. Right, let's just check our positioning. So the moon is here. I try and go when the moon is at 3 o'clock. That's the rough idea. So I think let's move forward just a little bit more. Battlefield, yeah, Battlefield 4. I've played Battlefield 3. I think I've played Battlefield 4. I think I play... And then the Battlefield that I played the most is Battlefield 2142. Loved that game. Really enjoyed playing it. Okay, so now we want to just go prograde, which this rocket will do very slowly if we just give it a little bit of throttle. We have got a gimbal on that engine, so it will help turn everything round. And then let's go to the moon. So it's quite cool that you can get your first stage, like the whole of your first stage to the moon. I mean, not the whole of the first stage because the side boosters have gone, but like the core. This is the core. Normally you wouldn't necessarily get the core this far. I kind of feel like I want to check out the orbit that we're going to have to do the rescue mission in, but I don't know yet. We'll have to see. We should get an intercept with the moon somewhere around here. So we'll see how that goes. And we can actually decide which side of the moon we come in on. We need to check which way round the orbit is. So let's slow down now. So we're about to get... There we go. There's our first... So if we focus our view on the moon and have a look. Now we've got a spacecraft here. That's Moon Base 1. We've got a heap there. That's the one that we... Oh, here we go. Haylock. Haylock's Hulk. And Haylock is going around clockwise, the same as everything else. So that's fine. We can slowly burn this to get it closer to the moon. We need to do a little bit of twisting, but we're going to do that on the way. So let's warp our spacecraft to part way. And then to do the twisting, we need to find the normal node or maybe the anti-normal. This takes forever because we've still got the first stage attached and it doesn't like turning around. But we've got plenty of time to do that. Yeah, I'm just bringing the spacecraft onto that magenta triangle. That's the normal. It'd be nice if we had a probe that would just lock on to the normal. Okay, so that made our orbit worse. Or I should say fly past of the moon. That made our fly past the moon worse. So what we're going to do is switch from the normal to the anti-normal, which is the exact opposite direction. And that should bring it into a nice flat plane. And hopefully we can catch up. Come on. Oh, shot past it. I was turning it around too fast. We don't have any RCS on this vessel. Once we drop the first stage, manoeuvring's actually quite easy. Here we go. Nice and steady now. Nice and steady. Come on. There we go. Come on. Ah, gonna have to use two hands. I sometimes it'd be nice to have three hands. Thank you very much for the follow, Cooper. Okay, so we've got. It's a little bit bendy. It's a little bit bendy, but that's fine. I should know it's the anti-normal by now. Yeah, maybe. I could drop a maneuver node in and just wiggle it around to find out exactly what I need to do, but I'm a bit too lazy on that. Hey, Cooper. Cooper's watching on Twitch. Okay, now let's bring this periapsis down. That is a 23-kilometer periapsis, and it's very bendy. That is much more bendy than I thought it was going to be. Okay, let's deal with the bendiness then. Later, let's deal with the bendiness later. We're going to come in. We're going to warp to the moon. Here we go. Put ourselves in a retrograde direction. Is there anything we can see from up here? Any of the outposts or base? Nothing. Nothing. Oh well, never mind. We're going to get this. Use the first stage to circularize the orbit. Mr. Beantowns here, watching on YouTube. Welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so we're just going to get this down so we have a very similar sort of orbit. Okay, so we've got a... See, that's 10 altitude of 10 kilometers and 17. That's not great, but we can work with it. We can work with that. And to make it easier to work with it, we're going to separate from the first stage now. So thank you very much, first stage. You did as good, but now we're in orbit of the moon with a second stage, rescue capsule, and full complement of fuel. Let's activate that engine. Christopher says, I have 6,000 hours in KSP. Still not got to Juna. Wow. What did I do? I think I got to Duna in my YouTube Series 2. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. Right, so the first thing that I think we need to do is find out... Let's go to the tracking center and reset our camera. There is a button somewhere where we can reset the camera once you've focused on a particular place. I cannot find that button, so I go back to the tracking center. There we go. So now when we go to the map, we're focused on our rescue vessel. So I'm not happy. Oh, so we've got a periapsis of 2 kilometers, 22 kilometers and 30. That'll do. Now we are a bit wonky. We need to actually set this Hulk as our target, and it's only a little bit behind us. So what we'll do is we'll get ready to go. See, look, there's the ascending node. If we go to the normal or anti-normal, and the aircraft is so the rocket is so much easier to turn around now, we should be able to level this orbit out. And if we do it on that ascending node, we can then change the angle of degrees to 0, and then it should be much better. Height for KSP2. Yeah, I hope it's good. Right, the ascending node is getting worse. Getting worse. We don't want the normal. We want the anti-normal. Steady now. There we go. Just going to make sure that the periapsis and the apoapsis don't get too close to the planet. roughly 0.6 degrees. Okay, so we're going around quite flat now. That's good. We have Haylock's Hulk as our target. What we probably need to do is allow it to catch up. So to catch up, we need to go further out, and we're going to be going further out. Periapsis for the target is 11, and oh, is that? Yeah, it's the periapsis. And we're going 51 out over there, so I think it will. Let's go around one loop. We'll go round and we'll make it so our 2 points there are the same. So we'll just go around to the other side. Oh, there's so much going on here. Okay, warp to here. Used to play on a really bad laptop. I mean, you can turn the settings down and it becomes a lot easier. Okay, we're on the far side of the planet, but ComSat 2 is keeping us in communications, which is fantastic. We can now try and get our periapsis down to match. This is really difficult to see, but there we go. Yep. They are both pretty close to each other there. That's good. And oh no, is Hulk caught up too much? Okay, so we allowed way too much separation there. I don't think there's anything I can do about that from where I am. So let's warp to here and see how it goes. Community space stations are fun. I bet they are. So let's have a look. What's the situation? So there's his Hulk. It's actually ahead of us. The old heap is actually behind. Right. See, the difficulty here is that normally if something's ahead of you, it's best to bring your orbit down so you can skip under it. But if we do that, we're going to crash into the moon. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to push our orbit out so that we lag so far behind that it catches up completely with us. So let's do one orbit like that and see what happens. So I'm here. Let's warp round once all the way. Okay. So where is he? What's that? That's the TR9 second stage. That's our rescue vessel. Where's he gone? Okay, so he's over here on the other side. So I think if we do it again. Yeah, I just need to push it out a little bit more, and you can see that these two orange nodes are getting close to each other. That's what we're trying to do. Whoop. Switch around retrograde. What's the separation there? Intersect 2.7 kilometers. 1.9. I'll have that. I'll have that. No problem. We've got loads of fuel. Absolutely loads of fuel. Right, there we go, look. Fantastic. So where is it? There it is. So the first thing I'm going to do is null out our relative velocities in a little bit. I'm going to wait until we get a bit closer. There we go. That is probably one of the best kind of orbit to intersects I've done in a while. It worked quite well, that. Making sure you're on the same plane, the same inclination, that's important. Getting your orbits to match quite nicely. So now I should be able to just point this thing at the target and go towards it. Oh, steady. Gently. Here we go. I think it's 1.8 kilometers away, so I think about 15 meters per second should be adequate. I'm a little bit impatient, so let's make it 20. Do you have a Discord? Yes, I do have a Discord. If you go to masterhellish.net, the link to the Discord is on Hellish Places. I don't know if I can do Hellish Places. I just sent a command. I don't know if it worked. We'll see. But yes, just head out to masterhellish.net. You'll find all the links to everything on there. F4. It's not the command for me. Okay. So we're in a retrograde position. We're getting ready to slow down. Looks like Streamlabs is playing ball today. Thank you very much, Streamlabs. So we're 800 meters away from whatever this thing is. Don't really know yet. Apparently Streamlabs thinks there's a charity championship still happening. I'll have to let it know about that. Championships are over. Brandon's our champion. The videos for that will be released shortly. Keep an eye out on my Discord and social media for that. Now, we're not going to crash into it. We're going to pass slightly over and above it, but that's fine. I'd rather do that than get too close. Going to start slowing down a little. Here we go. Slowing down a bit more. Once we get like kind of above it, we'll get whoever it is out of that vehicle. Oh, you know what? That'll do me. It's about 20 meters between us. Right, to make things easier, we need to rotate this vessel. There we go. To try and get the door on the same plane. Okay. So, who we got in here? This is Haylock Kerman, who got stuck in orbit of the moon. She got stuck in orbit of the moon, I think. So, if we go EVA, let go and turn on your RCS. There's the rescue ship just above us. So we should be able to just boost up. What's that in the background there? Something in the background there. I don't know what it is. Here we go. Steady. We don't want to break the solar panels off by crashing into it. Little bit by little bit. That's always best with this. You're not going to waste fuel by just floating. Although having said that, this float seems to be very good. Okay, we're upside down, but we are on board. Brilliant. Fantastic. There we go. We've picked them up. Haylock is a scientist. Oh no, we're going to end up with loads and loads of scientists. Okay, we are not really in a good position to perform a burn. So I'm just checking that our periapsis is not so low that we're going to crash into the surface of the moon. Let's do a warp of time. Christopher says, I hope to donate to your next charity street, as it's for an excellent cause. Keep up the good work. Yeah, well, we're going to we're going to be doing a festive charity live stream. We're going to do Open TTD, and we're going to do probably maybe a 12-hour game or something like that, a big public multiplayer game. It's going to be a lot of fun. But that's kind of just what I'm thinking at the minute. So look out for details closer to the time. Keep an eye out on social media and Discord announcements for all that sort of good stuff. Okay, so we're about ready to do our prograde burn to get back from the moon. For some reason it's not letting me. Why? Oh, because the target needs to be orbit. There we go. On our marks. Get set. Here we go. OpenTTD is fun. Yes, it is fun. You can get into the basics of OpenTTD really easily. Really easily. Like within 30 minutes you can be playing the game really well. Okay, here we go. This is our resulting orbit that's going to bring us back to Kerbin. I'm just going to keep an eye on this figure here, because this figure here on the right is our periapsis for our Kerbin re-entry. We want to be able to just dip into the atmosphere, but not too much. About 55 to 60 kilometers, I think, should do it. 79, 65, 60. There we go. We've got 60 kilometers. That'll do the job quite nicely. So if we now, hopefully we don't intersect the moon on our second pass. So there we go. We warp away from the moon. Off the moon goes. We did temporarily lose electrical charge then, which is a little bit worrying. But we've got a good view of the sun. So I think we should be good to come in for our final approach back to Kerbin now. Bring back our new scientist. Here we go. You started watching me because of OpenTTD. Thanks, Joe. I hope you're enjoying the content. So on my main YouTube channel, gaming channel at the moment, you've got OpenTTD and Railroute. Highly recommend you check out Railroute if you're into OpenTTD. And on the live streams at the minute, we've got Kerbal Space Program, and coming next week, a brand new series, RimWorld. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Always have fun playing that game. Right then, here we go. Let's see if we can do our full re-entry profile. Here we go. So we're going to put this craft in a retrograde position now. There we are. Bum into the wind, as I say. And we're going to throttle up to bring ourselves back down. Yeah, I think there's a general consensus amongst my community that we like trains and trains, transport, rockets and space. That seems to be a theme. I did some is this Korea? Yes, this is Korea on normal mode, but with Kerbal's returning turned off. Only one mod, and that's to help with the joystick. So we've actually got loads of fuel. We're definitely going to be coming down on the first pass. We're doing quite well in this Korea. Apart from last stream, we killed 3 people. What's accurate? I need to pay attention to what I'm doing here. RimWorld is... yeah, RimWorld's really good. I don't think we're going to bother with any of the DLCs for this Let's Play, because apart from my Alpha series on my YouTube, I've not done an actual proper full Let's Play of RimWorld before. Okay, here we go. We are going to be landing. Looks like we're going to be landing at sunset as well. And it looks like we... that's actually a relatively sharp... you know what? I'm going to just push us back the other way a little bit. I'm going to try and aim for the coast here. Let's put us over there. That might pop us in the coast. Do you have the KSP DLCs? Yes, I do have all the DLCs for KSP. Would anyone here play in a multiplayer server? I probably would if I had time, but I don't feel I have the time for that. Okay, so we have our trajectory locked in. I'm happy with this final approach down to the planet. Almost definitely we're going to be landing on some sort of land. Actually, I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with it at all. I'm going to twist it so that we end up in the ocean. We don't want to end up on a hillside that we end up rolling down and smashing our vessel. Wrong way. Yeah. RimWorld is good fun. I had really good fun in the Alpha series of playing RimWorld before the game was released. And yeah, this is something that I've said, Christopher, that the base game for RimWorld is good enough on its own to not need the DLCs. I feel there's enough content there. But I like the content for Kerbal Space Program, so I would recommend the DLCs for Kerbal Space Program. I wouldn't necessarily not recommend the DLCs for RimWorld, but I would say definitely play the game without it first. There we go. Now I'm happy with the sort of angle that we're coming in at, I think. So, oh, we're actually coming in sideways. Right, let's get rid of the second stage. We don't need that. That happened quite cleanly. We'll try and keep the second stage in view. It looks like it's floating and bouncing off the surface of the atmosphere a little bit more. Let's just check the order of these chutes. It's hard to tell, but yeah, we've got the order of the chutes correct. I don't know if we're going to make the water. We're probably going to come into this flat land over here. How are the solar panels not broken? That was higher up. The solar panels would definitely have broken off by now. So yeah, this is why if you buy Kerbal Space Program in the sales, you can get the entire collection for about 10 quid. It is definitely worth it. Yeah, so solar panels are quite strong, but they wouldn't be lasting now. They would have come off by now, I think. So yeah, look forward to that. Put it in your diary. Thursday night, 7:30 UTC in the afternoon. So we're going to start. We're going to play RimWorld. We're going to do. We're going to have 3 people, and we're going to use the Viewer Plus subscribers. And they're going to be playing. We're going to use them for the names in the game. So thank you for your support, Viewer Plus people. We're starting to slow down significantly now. Haylock's nearly back home. Our 3rd scientist, I think. One time you survive re-entry with solar panels open? Oh my goodness. That's crazy. It's been a good rescue, yeah. We might even just make the water that I was aiming for. Is that the water I was aiming for? No, this is a giant pond before the water I was aiming for. But once we slow down to about 400 to 500 meters per second, I will deploy drogue chutes. I'm getting ready on my button. So yeah, 8:30 UK time on Thursdays will be RimWorld. My website will be updated quite soon, I hope. Actually, we're still 12 kilometers up. I'm not going to activate the chutes yet. The solar panels broke when you deployed the parachutes. Yeah, that'll probably be the G-forces. Yeah, Stellaris is a good game, but I'm not 100% sold on Stellaris, to be honest. Anywho, chutes. There's the drogue chutes. They'll open up soon. We're just going to turn SAS off. Go to space with decouplers. I'm not really into cheese. I know you can do that sort of stuff, Christopher, but I'm not really... Oh, what was that exploding? It looks like the second stage actually made it through the atmosphere and just crashed. Okay, let's fast forward. Get ready to deploy main chutes. Oh, Train Simulator. That can be a funny game to play. If you're interested in train games, I would recommend checking out Transport Fever, either 1 or 2. I've really enjoyed playing Transport Fever 1. That was fun. Obviously, OpenTTD is free, so that's a no-brainer really. And Railroute at the moment, I'm really enjoying it. It's not like OpenTTD, but in some ways it is. So I think, where are we now? What are we now? Friday. So episode 2 of my early access Let's Play will be coming out on Sunday. And also, if you do go over to the Railroute Discord, just let them know Master Hellish sent you over. Right, here we go. Our scientist has been rescued. And the craft did fall over and roll a little bit. We turn SAS on. Might even be able to write... oh, no. Okay, if we turn it round... Gently. Right, can we stand it up? There we go. And the little blinky red light. I love those little blinky red lights. They're quite cool. You do love the surprise dinner live streams, yeah. Have you ever looked at Mashinki? Mashinki? No, whatever that is. No, never looked at it. Make plane with foldable wings. Oh, Joe. That's a good idea, Joe. We don't have time to do that today, but at some point, that sounds like something to try and do. Let's recover this vessel. The main problem you have with OpenTTD is the signals. You don't really understand some of them. Basically, Mr. Beantown, don't worry about the signals. If you're beginning, just use path signals, okay? Use path signals. Think of your track as blocks. Path signals just break up your track into those block segments. Just do that. Keep it simple and then grow from that point there. Okay, so we've got a new crew member added to the roster, and they're already level 1, which is because they've been to the moon. So you've done orbit around the moon and flyby Kerbin. And some of these guys have done plant flag on moon, but not orbit around moon? Did Sixer and Nudger and Brandon not orbit round the moon? I'm sure they did. Right, well, anyway. Well, there we go, folks. Actually, that's really good timing, because that is the end of my lunch break. I need to get back to work now. I don't know why... Oh, yeah, the numbers are actually working on screen now. That's cool. So, yeah, I need to get back to work. So, watch out for stuff that's coming up. This weekend, I'm having a weekend with my daughter. We're going to be seeing one of her friends. We're going to go down the park and have a play. We're going to build a Lego robot. I'll post some pictures of the robot and stuff if we do build it over on my Discord. But thanks for hanging out, guys. It's been great chatting with you. Hope you enjoy the stream, and remember to show some love, comment, share, all that good stuff, and good luck at work. Yeah, I've got some interesting things to do this afternoon at work to wind down on a Friday afternoon, so some worky, interesting but relaxing things. So thank you very much, folks, and I'll see you next week, where we'll have another KSP live stream and the start of RimWorld. Take care, everybody, and for now, goodbye, folks.